Hello YouTube, I am the Gaming Pegasus 187, and this is Friday Fight Night 13. Well, we are playing UFC Undisputed 3, and this is the PlayStation 3 version. The game was released on February 14th, 2012, and I actually pre-ordered it, and it was a day one for me because I absolutely love this series. And this will be kicking off the first of 5 straight Undisputed 3 videos. We will be actually also mixing in the Pride mode here and there, but I think for the most part it's going to be UFC because this is going to be my lead up into the biggest rematch in UFC history. And that is Chael Sonnen versus Anderson Silva, and it'll be for the middleweight championship. And I am absolutely pumped for this fight. I absolutely can't wait. I mean, the most disappointed I've ever been after a UFC fight was when Chael tapped out to Anderson with under 2 minutes left in the 5th round. If Chael hadn't tapped out, he would have won the fight because he took it to Anderson for 4.5 rounds. Ugh. I mean, it's a long time coming. I think everyone wants to see Anderson get beat, minus Brazil, but that's a different story. Speaking of, I think I had a couple of Brazilians come just like my video when I did the first UFC one on my very first Friday Fight Night when I did Chael versus Anderson. I mean, it was just, I thought it turned out okay. I guess some Brazilians don't like that I'm pro Chael and they're Anderson fans, and I mean, I'll probably be talking more about the fight in the coming weeks, but
coming up next,
I think right now I should probably I can talk about the promo a little bit. I think it was really well done. I saw it at UFC 146. I went to a sports bar to watch them, and it was they had a all heavyweight main card. Every fight got finished. There was there were no decisions. It was either TKOs or straight knockouts. I mean, actually one of them ended up being the DQ because of the 12-6 elbows. And, like, it was a really good card. It was an absolutely great card. You can see here I'm doing, this is Chris Leben. I am playing as Dan Henderson. So I will definitely get into the Pride mode because I think that's a really well done addition to this game. And I think the Pride mode is really fun to do because you can mix in the UFC fights, just like you can mix in Pride fighters in the UFC. So you can do like Royce Gracie versus Dan Henderson, or like GSP. You can go into Pride, you can do Chael versus Anderson if you want, and Chael face stomp him.
Dan Henderson fired up and ready to give the crowd what they came to see.
I mean, it is a really well done game. It's a shame THQ doesn't have a license anymore because EA now has it. For anyone who saw the EA press conference earlier in the week for E3, I mean, this is one of those things that I think THQ is going under. I don't think they're going to be around much longer. Unless like WWE 13 or they bring out some huge title that just sells millions of copies, they are in trouble. And having and EA now having the UFC license, I think is a big tell. Because the UFC is a huge industry. It is a huge company that has made so much money. And and to lose that kind of a franchise like that has done really well for them. I mean, they still have the WWE franchise, but how long is that going to last? You know what I mean? But anyway, it's enough about that. I'll talk more E3 stuff on the Users podcast when we record tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll have the Tony Hawk review up by then, because I plan to record my script tonight, and then tomorrow I'll do all the editing. I just want to have the recording done, and then I'll do all the editing tomorrow. I'll render it, upload it, and it should be done. I'll have the first Tony Hawk review off my back.
UFC belt on the line, guys.
And then I'll probably end up going on to a crappy game. I am probably going to end up reviewing TNA Impact for the 360. Because I think I can squeeze out some good material on that one. I think it'll be a good review because I've been doing really good games so far. Tony Hawk, Sunset Riders, and then NBA Jam. So let's go to a really bad game and be a little more fun, because I don't want to review just good games. And
they are not enjoying this.
am I going to review like the big, like, so I'll review big games from my childhood, even though they've probably been done to death already. You know, Mario, Zelda, Legend of Zelda, stuff like that. And I mean, to get back to this game, this difficulty is absolutely brutal. I'm not kidding. It is absolutely brutal. You can see here, I'm having a hard time just trying to get Leben off of me so I can get up and strike. You see here, I'm doing okay. Mixing up my strikes, throwing kicks, some punches, some quick jabs, some hard ones, and I mean,
he's got the takedown,
but I keep getting taken down, and you absolutely have to learn.
Again, the takedown is
you have to know. You have the tendency to know, like when your opponent's about to do something, to do the right move. You have to know how to counter grapple. You have to know how to sway, counter punch. You have to know how to do the ground sways, which I'm going to end up. I think I end up doing right here.
Yeah, he swept him with that leg kick. This crowd is
now, I actually tried recording this as I was playing, and I just my game started lagging as I was recording, so it was really throwing me off my game.
He's got the back mount here, both hooks in.
But you can see here, I get back up, and then I go back down. And then boom, I get hit in the face, the takedown intercept me, and I'm up against the cage, and I just couldn't. I mean, I just couldn't recover. I was trying the ground sways, but I mean, they're really hard to do, and I'm still trying to master them.
We have a new UFC middleweight champion.
You see here, Leben kicks my ass, but next week we're going to go into a completely different division. I think we're going to do Pride. I think I want to do Pride next week.
This is the end here, just nasty.
So I'll be practicing up throughout the week.
As soon as he had
in between doing my summer backlog, which, by the way, I am almost done with Sonic 4 Episode 2. I am working my way through Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and then after I do that, I'm going to do Bayonetta, because that's going to be one of the harder games on my list, I think. That game is, I think, is going to kick my ass for a while before I manage to get through it.
And with our official decision, here is Bruce Buffer.
And that, again, that's going to be in between doing other stuff I have to do, because I'm looking for another job right now.
24 seconds.
So I'm going to be doing stuff like that, so I'm not going to have... You have to be able to juggle everything, and real life comes first. So this is why I do want to put out content for everybody, and this gives me a chance to show off some gameplay of me playing a game and just updating everybody what's going on my channel, pretty much, or what's going on in my life, or like what I'm into, or what's going on with the podcast. Like we're gonna have I believe we're gonna have a guest tomorrow. So I don't want to say who it is in case it doesn't come through, but it's, I think, gonna be really good guests from the Pete's Game Room forum, and yeah, I mean, there's really not much to say here because I'm running short on time, but next week we're going Pride. Pegasus out.